Agenda is RS 30087. Representative Boyle.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Do I address you too, Mr. Chairman? I didn't know what was going on here.
No, you're fine, Representative Boyle. She's a vice chair, and in this committee, I like to rotate the chairmanship. I think it's important that you train up the next generation, and so we possibly are looking at a rule change that we're going to do because I like to rotate it amongst the members as well. So This morning she came in, she goes, "Hey, do you need me to chair sometime?" I said, "Yeah, just do it this morning." So that's kind of how we do it here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's a great idea. We definitely do need to train other people how to do this, especially when I see some of the other committees. So, Madam Chairman, I am Representative Judy Boyle, District 9, and I'm here today to offer RS 30087. So this is a memorial, and this is about Greater Idaho. I don't know how familiar this committee might be with that, but for quite a few years now, Eastern Oregon has been quite unhappy with their state. Portland seems to be able to run everything there, and they have been asking for quite some time if they could move the border and become part of Idaho. So because I live right on the border, I have known lots of people in Eastern Oregon for many, many years. And, you know, when they came and said, hey, we have actually now had 11 votes for 11 counties that want to become part of Idaho. So this is just a memorial asking that our legislature talk to Oregon's legislature about this idea. And as you know, to move a border, this has been done before, but to move a border, you have to have both states agree, their legislature, and then it has to go to Congress for approval. So is it a long shot? Probably, but how will we know if we never start? Advantages for Idaho, we would have another about 380,000 Idahoans, which would give us one more congressional seat instead of just two. Also, they just finished a study, these folks in Oregon. They asked the Claremont Institute to do a study on economics. And so for a minimum, this study showed that Idaho would receive at least 170 million more tax dollars. Now that didn't include all the businesses. You know, Oregon has a lot more restrictive rules than Idaho does on their businesses. The other thing that I like, this would allow people in Oregon to stay where they live instead of moving over here, increasing our traffic, converting our farmland, which has always worried me. How are we going to eat when we are paving it over and putting houses on it? And would help the traffic. And especially in my county, because we live right on the border with Ontario. You know, they have legalized marijuana, and then the latest thing was pretty much legalizing all the hard drugs. My county has been overwhelmed with drugs since that started. And the cities there and the sheriff, they're having a terrible time, to say the least, trying to get a handle on all this. So by moving that border back over way on the other side, at least the drugs would be that far away. So I would stand for questions.
Thank you, Representative Boyle. Are there questions for Representative Boyle? Representative Skok.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a comment, and then I'll make a motion if the motion's in order. My understanding is the former Oregon Speaker of the House is heading this up for his Oregonians to make this move. Is that correct?
Representative Boyle.
Madam Chairman, Representative, that is correct.
All right. I would move to introduce RS 30087.
Committee, we have a motion. Is there any discussion of the motion? All right, so the motion is to introduce RS 30087. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion has passed. Next item on the agenda